Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here for today's video. I think it's safe to say that the 2019 NBA draft class is going to be absolutely loaded. You got Zion Williamson out there, RJ Barrett, Ja Morant, just a ton of talent in the 2019 NBA draft class. So for today's video, we are going to do something I never did before. So one of my roster creators, Lil Saint BB21, actually made me a draft class. But what we're going to do is we are going to draft this into NBA 2K19. But the thing is that we are going to assume every single player is going to be drafted in their prime. So what he did exactly is just kind of like looked at different like scouting reports and kind of like what players are being ranked as of right now, like how great they can really be here in the NBA. And he changed all their ratings for the top 30 players out there, to reflect what their prime year could exactly look like. So keep in mind, guys, we don't quite know exactly yet. I mean, a few of these guys, no doubt, are going to be busts. That's just how it is every single year when it comes to draft classes out there, man. So a lot of assumptions are being made. So if you're like, so-and-so should be a 99 overall, or so-and-so should only be like a 75. I mean, keep in mind, it's all based off speculation as of right now until we actually see these guys play in the NBA. So yeah, if you guys do me a quick favor, before we get going on this mock draft, you can please drop a like on this video. You guys got my last one to 1,000 likes. I would greatly appreciate, man. Drop that like. Help me get this one to 1,000 likes, so we can be streaking up here, right? So let me make myself smaller here real quick. So yeah, what I did is I found some different like mock drafts, and I kind of like organized the draft order based off, guys or teams that I saw getting like the first pick and stuff like that. So we are going to do the lottery. And then after that, I'm going to do the rest of it off camera just because it's going to be a very long video if we do every single team out there. And then, of course, we'll go through every single team, and I'm going to show you guys the simulation, all that good stuff. So here we go, man. NBA draft time. I don't know if you guys saw the New York Knicks. For this is going to have the first pick in the draft. So here we go, man. Adam Silver, welcome to the 2019 NBA draft. The New York Knicks are on the clock. So I think this is a pretty easy one to kind of figure out. You look at their team as of right now: DeAndre Jordan, Emmanuel Mudiay, who is expiring, of course. All these guys are expiring except like Dennis Smith Jr. But they lost Kristaps Porzingis, their star power forward. So it only makes sense to go back and get another star power forward, and that is going to be the 96 overall Zion Williamson. He is projected to be a straight up beast here, guys. I mean, he's already going to be like the second heaviest player in the NBA. But that's not like fat or nothing like that, man. That's all muscle. So he already has the NBA body plus some out there. So I know we're all really excited to kind of see like what they do out there and things like that. So he averaged 18 rebounds per game. Yeah, I guess what I can also do is, as we go through this, just in case some of you guys are curious, I will show you guys like what they averaged in college based off of their stats right here. So yeah, man, 34 points, 18 rebounds, 5 assists. Okay, so next up we do have the Phoenix Suns. Another one that's pretty easy. I mean, a lot of these cases, we know where these team needs are at. If they had the first pick, I think they would probably go Zion. But in this case, right now, Tyler Johnson's their best point guard. So we're going to go with Ja Morant for the second pick here in the draft as a 94 overall. I think he's going to be fantastic, averaging 33 points, 14 assists, 5 steals as prime in college. Yeah, I'm not really expecting that in the NBA, but who knows? Maybe he just comes out there and he's the next Magic Johnson or the next greatest point guard of all time, plain and simple. So welcome to the team. Okay, next team, I not actually see what we have here. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers. So you look at their team roster as of right now. Let me pull it up real quick. And I mean, you got Kevin Love, who's still, this guy signed for a long time. So I mean, he's still gonna be part of the team. Center position, they're pretty locked down on. Point guard's good. They definitely need either a shooting guard or a small forward. Nothing against Jordan Clarkson. I just think he would do better as a 6-man, or even some cases, there's a lot of players out there that can play multiple positions. But looking at the prospects, let's go to the overalls. So we got RJ Barrett for the shooting guard position. I do think he's better than Cam Reddish, but the fact that this team does, I don't know, it's like, would you rather start Cedi Osman as small forward and use RJ Barrett as shooting guard with Clarkson off the bench or something like that? I think the third best player in this draft class is no doubt RJ Barrett over Cam Reddish. So I think it makes sense to go with him. Just, when you're the Cavaliers, you can't exactly be picky out there, so you got to go with best available. So we're going to go with him next here in the draft, guys. RJ Barrett, not Romeo Langford, although he's going to be coming up pretty soon here. Another fantastic player. Okay, next up, we have the Chicago Bulls. So you look at their team needs, and I keep on going to the same damn thing every time, dude. They got Zach LaVine as shooting guard. Lauri Markkanen's good. Wendell Carter's good. Point guard, I think they're fine at too. Besides for Ja Morant, there's not really any point guards out there. I mean, Darius Garland's going to be solid and stuff like that, but nobody I would like reach for at that 5th pick in the draft. So I think in some cases you probably just go for best available or maybe some sort of fit out there because they do have Otto Porter locked up for another season. So I guess it's going to come down to if Bull fans think he is going to be their starter of the future. He's playing great basketball for them as of right now, but looking at the guys available, you know, there's a lot of great small forwards, and I think you kind of take a risk on one of those and go from there. So you have like Cam Reddish, you got Nazir Little. Somewhere on this list we should have, where's he at, man? Yeah, Rui Hakamura. I'm a big fan for his. I actually think he's gonna be a little better than 83 overall, personally speaking, but I did not make that roster. So yeah, but yeah, man, we got some good small forwards available. I feel like Cam Reddish, another guy out of Duke. He just has, to me, he's had some big games for Kentucky. I'm sorry for Duke. Sorry, oh man, I'm sorry, Kentucky fans. For Duke, I literally just said it. But he's kind of having like that, because I was thinking of Devin Booker on Kentucky back where he like played behind like a whole bunch of like future NBA stars. So I think it's going to be the same song and dance, where he's going to have nice games in college, but ultimately being behind RJ and Zion is kind of like shadowing what he can do at times. So I think he's coming to the NBA and be fantastic. Cam Reddish to the Chicago Bulls. All right, next up, we do have the Atlanta Hawks, I believe here. So as far as their team positions, let's go to this. We got, all right, so they're good at point guard, power forward. Shooting guard definitely can use some help. So yeah, I would probably say a shooting guard or center is what they need the most. So let's look at some more players available and go. So shooting guard or what I say center. Yeah, there's not really a ton of great centers available as of right now. But Jarrett Culver, I guess you got Bobo. He would be nice alongside John Collins. Could actually space the floor, shooting 43% in this case. Jarrett Culver, he's definitely more like a three-point sniper out there too. So him and Trae Young could be a very intriguing backcourt. You also got Romeo Langford, who I think is going to be like a T-Mac type of player here in the NBA. So I like the idea of Romeo just because he does have like better length, being 6'6", but I mean, you know, 6'5", it's a 1-inch difference. So, or you can go with Bobo as center and, you know, go with John Collins out there with him too. So a lot of good players to choose from. But Kent Bazemore, I feel like he needs to go, and this team really is going to be lacking the shooting guard spot. So I'm going to go with Jarrett Culver to form a great backcourt of the future with Trae Young here with the 6th pick in the draft. All right, next up, we do have the Memphis Grizzlies. So this actually, I was going to say, man, we could use a center because of Marc Gasol being traded, but at the same time, they just got Jonas Valanciunas, who is going to be around. He's only 27, so he's going to be around for a bit. So I'm going to say this team probably needs, yeah, shooting guard position, Don Wright, Avery Bradley, those guys are okay. Small forward position is what they're lacking. Like Chandler Parsons, he's whatever. Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson's not really doing all that great. So yeah, we're definitely going to go with a small forward for them. And I'm thinking Nazir Little is probably the move, 6'6" with 6'11" wingspan. He's an all-around star. You look at everything he does out there. While he can score, he's also very defensive-oriented, so I think he would fit into that, you know, grit and grind mentality that typically is run by the Memphis Grizzlies. So, yeah, Nazir Little, how tall I say was, man, he's a little on the short side, being 6'6" for a small forward, but that's okay. Like, you can definitely still be that height and be fine here in the NBA. So, yeah, Nazir Little with the pick here in the draft. All right. Next up, we do have the Washington Wizards. This one I'm thinking is a little bit easier to select, and that is because it sounds like Bradley Beal wants to be part of the organization for a while. I love Thomas Bryant at the center position. John Wall, we know is going to be out for the most of next season. I feel like you go out there and you start to prime your next point guard of the future. We're going to go with Darius Garland here from Vanderbilt. Just because, like, you know, I think it would, look at that. He got a ceiling of Mike Conley. That's definitely not a bad way to go. But, you know, you would work on grooming him this season, and then maybe once John Wall's back, you kind of start John Wall for the rest of the season or try to shop him via a trade for really cheap, something like that, man. I just feel like the John Wall era is over. So, yeah, Darius Garland, welcome to the Washington Wizards. All right, next up, we got the Orlando Magic. So, no doubt going to go with, you know, Bobo, just to make the demigod front court of Bobo and also Mo Bamba. I'm just joking. I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm not going to do that. It's too much going on. But no, as far as this team goes, I was talking about, you know, Romeo Langford being the next Tracy McGrady. And right now, as far as, like, any position I see, you know, they do have, yeah, Markelle Fultz at point guard. Still got Jonathan Isaac. You know, center positions, lockdown Aaron Gordon. So shooting guard, I'll probably say is the most valuable for them right now. They could really use, because Evan Fournier is going to be off the books after this upcoming season. He's not going to decline the $17 million. So yeah. So I'm going to say we are going to go with Romeo Langford. Hopefully he can become that next big part of this team. So here we go. Welcome to the Orlando Magic. Should be nice for him out there. All right, next up, we got the New Orleans Pelicans. So when I think of this team, let's look at their squad here real quick. Small forward, point guard is something they need. You know, Anthony Davis, for the sake of this video, he's probably not going to be traded just because I'm not going to rebuild every single team and stuff like that. But yeah, man, so they need a point guard. They need a small forward out there. They need a lot of different parts. It might be the case of just going with best available, but in that case, we are looking at Bobo, maybe a Kevin Porter Jr. They already do have Drew Holiday shooting guard, so that doesn't really make too much sense. And not a ton of small forwards available. So maybe you consider going with Bobo, and then that way you can definitely trade away Anthony Davis, or really those guys probably could even play together out there, man. So I feel like Bobo has kind of been sitting here for a little bit too long. I know they got Jahlil Okafor, but we don't really know what his ceiling is going to be as far as this team goes. So I also like Keldon Johnson, though, man. We got Keldon Johnson out of Kentucky. So this one might actually make more sense, especially if they bring back Julius Randle. I'm going to go with Keldon Johnson. I feel like this team needs some wing help, more so than they need big guys. So we'll do that. All right, next up is my favorite team, the Detroit Pistons. And I wish Darius Garland was still here for trade, just because I'm sick of Reggie Jackson. But what do we need exactly? Kevin Porter Jr. out of USC. Looks like he is a great shooter. 27 points per game, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. Can do a little bit of everything out there. This team definitely does need help on the guard spots. So looks like a good available player. I think I'm going to go with him probably, because Trey Jones is the best available point guard out of Duke. Not really looking to reach down to that far for him. So yeah, give me Kevin Porter Jr. I think I'd be happy with that selection. Just bring some more offense to a team that really struggles at the shooting guard and small forward position as of right now. Okay, next up, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. So their squad, we know what it's looking like too, man. They got Karl-Anthony Towns, Derrick Rose, Andrew Wiggins, Covington. Definitely lacking the shooting guard position also. So, I mean, Derrick Rose can definitely play that and everything. But I also got Jeff Teague. Derrick Rose is going to be out the book, so I'm curious if they're going to pay him or not. But yeah, so we got DeAndre Hunter here from Virginia. Once again, pretty damn decent number. I mean, they're all in their prime, so of course it makes sense. So yeah, DeAndre Hunter. That way they could re-sign Derrick Rose, have a nice, young blood out there for the backcourt, and that should be good to go, man. DeAndre Hunter, welcome to the team. All right. So next up, we have another pick by the Atlanta Hawks. Of course, they got this one over from the Dallas Mavericks, just because that was, their pick. It was part of the Luka Doncic, Trae Young trade. So I was saying center before. No doubt going to go with Bobo. I mean, that's a steal, man. This far down in the draft. Two-way star, 7'10" wingspan, which is probably one of the biggest ever in the NBA. So yeah, Bobo, welcome to the team. The new starting center alongside John Collins. Both those guys can somewhat space the floor, so that should be nice for them. And of course, they got their other, I forgot who we got before. Was it Keldon Johnson, maybe? Somebody else like that. All right, who do we have next? The Los Angeles Lakers. So I think in this case, it's time. I like Rui Hachimura, like I was saying, but we already got Kyle Kuzma, LeBron James, Ingram. I think we're going to go with Jackson Hayes, who's actually kind of newer to the lottery as far as, he's really been coming up from Texas. 6'11", looks like your more traditional center, somebody that can play on the inside. So they don't need a point guard. Shooting guard, I mean, I'm not going to reach down that far for him. They might get a Klay Thompson. So I think I'm going to go with Jackson Hayes, 86 overall, instantly becomes the starting center of the team. Someone that can run the pick and roll with Lonzo or LeBron James. Should be nice, man. All right, next up, we have the Boston Celtics, who seem to always have a billion first-round picks no matter how good they are. Man, who do we go for in this case? Because they are like loaded at every single position, man. Like, there's not a single position this team doesn't need. It's like they're just good everywhere. So I think you probably just go with best available and you make it work out. If anything, maybe it's another trade piece they use to get Anthony Davis. So we got Seco right here from France, 87 overall, 44% from 3, 31 points per game. Go with him. That'll be fine. All right, next up, we are going to have for our final pick here, and then I'm going to simulate the rest of it, is the Miami Heat. So I already know who I'm going to go with this one, just because I feel like this is a team that can make any player, fit any player into their system, and they're going to do pretty well out there. But Rui Hachimura, I can't go this whole video without drafting him, man. I just got to do it. He's one of my favorite college players. So we're going to go with him right now, 83 overall, skilled face-up 4. I think instantly could play alongside Hassan Whiteside. Kind of be like that replacement for James Johnson. Guys like that. So Rui Hachimura, welcome to the team. So, all right, man, I'm going to go ahead and simulate the rest of this draft. And then we're going to do a simulation. And just so you guys can see real quick here is what the draft was looking like. You guys know what I did for the lottery. So, just if you want to check out your favorite teams and the ratings and stuff like that, this is what it's all looking like based off all their primeness. Tyler Herro going over to the Nets. We got Shamor Pons going to the Spurs. Kobe White going to the Warriors. All right, man, let me get to the beginning of the regular season. Okay, so we are going to start this simulation here, guys. Zion Williamson, it looks like his ceiling is as good as LeBron James, as they are both 98 overalls right here. Ja's at a 97 overall. Just so you guys can see like how some of these players are going to rank as among some of the best players in the NBA as of right now. But here we go. So I just selected the Houston Rockets just because like they still got their main core out there, James Harden, Chris Paul, Clint Capella. So it won't be like me like interfering too much in the actual simulation. So here we go, guys. I'm going to simulate this entire NBA season, and we're going to see which rookies, prime rookies, take over the entire NBA. Okay, so here we go, guys. The MVP goes to RJ Barrett of the Cleveland Cavaliers at 30 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Damn, dude. I do think he's going to be the next, like, superstar shooting guard. I just think he has all the fundamentals in his game to do so. He's just good at everything out there. So I think he's going to fit perfectly into the NBA. Also, of course, got Rookie of the Year. John Wall, 6-man. I mean, I guess we had, what was it, Darius Garland, I believe, was the point guard we picked for the team. Bol at 23 points, 14 rebounds. Also getting Defensive Player of the Year. Colin Sexton is most improved. Brad Stevens Coach of the Year. So All-NBA first team, RJ and John making that. No Zion Williamson on here. All-NBA second, okay, he's on that. Nazir Little and Bol. All-NBA third with Romeo Langford and Cam Reddish. So all rookie teams looking like this. All right, let's check out some players' stats. We're going to go to that rookie report here real quick because that's probably the best way to look at this. So we got RJ, we know his stat line. Nazir at 27 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Cam Reddish, 27, 4, and 5. Y'all want to see Zion's stat line, man? What, 23, 12, and 5. You know, I feel like that sounds about right. He might get to like that 25, 26 point per game range. I know he's going to be a fantastic rebounder. And I think he's going to be like Draymond Green with better offense, with way better offense. So I don't know if that's a good way to put it or not. John Moran, and I still think he's gonna be great too. Rui Hachimura at 19 points. So yeah, these are how all these players did for their respected teams. All looking pretty dang good out there, man. All right, I guess we'll do the playoffs so we can see who wins it all. Looks like it's probably gonna be Cleveland, and I'm gonna say OKC. Simulate playoffs, see how it goes. I thought Boston was gonna be the number 1 seed, but I can't believe you add one rookie superstar to the Cleveland Cavaliers and all of a sudden they become the best team in the entire NBA, or at least in the Eastern Conference, getting that number 1 seed. So the Knicks actually did not even make it with Zion, which is surprising because rookie Zion normally in these rebuilds usually gets to like the second or conference finals when it comes to the playoffs. So very surprised by that. But we got the Celtics and Suns, and we have the Celtics winning it all. Kyrie Irving as your finals MVP. I mean, this is also one of my predictions. They had, wow, they had Seiko out there. They also got Daniel Gafford, and they got Alexander Walker. So, I mean, yeah, they got 3 rookies out of this. Just not fair at all. John Morant kind of choked there in that final game, but it's all good. Anyway, hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section below. What rookie do you want your favorite team to end up getting in the NBA draft? Be realistic. I mean, you know, if you're like a Houston Rockets fan, you're not going to have the top picks. So, yeah, guys, let me know. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.